Jengo ambayo inaendelea kujenga majumba kubwa ambazo tutakuwa tunatumia kwa aggregate produce zetu. Tutakuwa tuna aggregate our produce from our farms. As you all know, Kiambu County ni kubuni, tuko na chakula nyingi, tuko na avocado. Hapa tuta process avocado, tutabaka avocado. Hapa tuta process chakula ya mifugo ya mifugo yetu na kazi nyingine nyingi sana inafanywa hapa. Kwa hivyo leo nimekuja hapa kuangalia vile kazi inaendelea na hawa hapa tunasema, lakini nimefurahia sana sababu vijana wameniambia kwa unawapatia kibarua. Wameniambia sasa kama wamepewa kazi sio kuna kitchen. Na hii place kama accommodate hawa wa unagani. Hawa MATIANG'I na Rais President Ruto, he promised the people of the world ya kwamba we are going to aggregate all the avocado, we are going to buy the earth, we are going to wash, we are going to wax, we are going to grade, we are going to cool. Yule ambaye atanunua kutumia. Kwa hivyo sisi tuko kwa mpango. Lakini kazi yangu si kupiga makofi. Kupiga pesa yetu. Kama sasa mimi najua hapa pesa imefika hapa ni ya national government. Ya county bado haijafika. Kazi yangu ni kusukuma pesa nyingi kufikia watu wapate pesa.
Ile mtanga chini ndipo ndio inatoa. No, I just look at my yeah, 5 meters.
What's your time for completion? What is your
We are expecting completion by July, end of July.
Yeah.
Almost. Yeah, almost. Security wise?
For example, when watakuwa wanafanya kazi hapa, kile juu
tunakoroga hapo, tufunike. Hizi
What's your time for completion? What is it?
We are expecting completion by July, end of July.
Yeah. June.
Yeah, almost.
And security?
Security wise,
For example, wale watakuwa wanafanyia kazi hapa. Kile juu hakikisha
tunakoroga hapo tufunike. Hizi tunaendelea dot tu. Tunakuja na goals za pesa. Kama nenda wall ya nani?
kuna accommodation for security.
No, we don't have accommodation. Yes, we are looking behind for the whole the map of communities.
Very good. So your estimation is that the people will work in charge. The watu ambao
Yeah,
wanakaa huko.
apart from the staffs.
Yeah.
The staffs can be operated near my house.
Yeah. But ideally, this is should be phase 2. Should be some small housing here now. I think that should be phase 2 of this project.
Yeah.
Alright. So umejionea kazi inafanyika huku. Hii ndio kazi tumekuwa tukipigania na serikali mbaya sana. Tumekuwa tukipigania na serikali mpaka pesa iletwe hapa na tumalize project. Because we promised our people. Na mimi kazi yangu ni kupigia watu wakifanya kazi hizi. Wakikosa na wakosa kama ni aje.
Mbona hiyo?
Ndio kazi yangu.
Yeah.
Kama tuliambia watu center na shamba iko lazima nipigane huko bunge pesa ikuje hapa, na nimepigana mimi yangu, nimepigana hata mpaka mimi ndio naumia sasa, lakini I'm ready to continue until this project is actualized, na iandike watu wengi, avocado zetu zitupatie pesa. And by the way, we are not talking about avocado in Githongori only, we are aggregating avocado in the whole of Kiambu County. Kwa hivyo wale wako Kabete, avocado zenyu zitakuwa zinakuja hapa. Wale wako kule Gatondo, avocado zenyu zitakuwa zinakuja hapa. Wale wako kule Gatondo North, wale wako kule Thika, wale wako kule Juja, Waruiru, Kiambaa, ninyi wote mmeshughulikiwa because this is a county aggregation center. It's only that tumeihost hapa Waruiru farm kwa sababu hapo ndipo tulikuwa na space, tulikuwa na shamba kubwa, and then of course you know Githongori is almost the central part of Kiambu County. So tuendelee kufuatilia hii project tuone hadi tutafika by July tukuje tufungue. That time rais mumwambie akuje. Sasa hiyo siku akikuja mimi nitampigia dance nimwambie umemaliza kazi. Kabla hajamaliza kazi na hajamaliza project. Mimi siwezi kupigia yeye makofi.
Juzi alikuwa akuja hapa.
Yeah, 5 meters.
What's your time for completion? What is it?
We are expecting completion by July, end of July.
Yeah. June.
Yeah, almost.
And security?
Security wise,
For example, wale watakuwa wanafanyia kazi hapa. Kile juu hakikisha
tunakoroga hapo tufunike. Hizi tunaendelea dot tu. Tunakuja na goals za pesa. Kama nenda wall ya nani?
kuna accommodation for security.
No, we don't have accommodation. Yes, we are looking behind for the whole the map of communities.
Very good. So your estimation is that the people will work in charge. The watu ambao wanakaa
Yeah,
huko.
apart from the staffs.
Yeah.
The staffs can be operated near my house.
Yeah. But ideally, this is should be phase 2. Should be some small housing here now. I think that should be phase 2 of this project.
Yeah.
Alright. So umejionea kazi inafanyika huku. Hii ndio kazi tumekuwa tukipigania na serikali mbaya sana. Tumekuwa tukipigania na serikali mpaka pesa iletwe hapa na tumalize project. Because we promised our people. Na mimi kazi yangu ni kupigia watu wakifanya kazi hizi. Wakikosa na wakosa kama ni aje.
hiyo.
Ndio kazi yangu. Kama tuliambia watu tutatengeneza avocado aggregation center na shamba iko, lazima nipigane huko bunge pesa ikuje hapa. Na nimepigana mimi yangu, nimepigana hata mpaka mimi ndio naumia sasa. Lakini I'm ready to continue until this project is actualized. Na iandike watu wengi, avocado zetu zitupatie pesa. And by the way, we are not talking about avocado in Githongori only. We are aggregating avocado in the whole of Kiambu County. Kwa hivyo wale wako Kabete, avocado zenyu zitakuwa zinakuja hapa. Wale wako kule Gatondo, avocado zenyu zitakuwa zinakuja hapa. Wale wako kule Gatondo North, wale wako kule Thika, wale wako kule Juja, Waruiru, Kiambaa, ninyi wote mmeshughulikiwa because this is a county aggregation center. It's only that tumeihost hapa Waruiru farm kwa sababu hapo ndipo tulikuwa na space, tulikuwa na shamba kubwa, and then of course you know Githongori is almost the central part of Kiambu County. So tuendelee kufuatilia hii project, tuone hadi tutafika by July, tukuje tufungue. Hata rais mumwambie akuje sasa, hiyo siku akikuja mimi nitampigia dance, nimwambie umemaliza kazi. Kabla hajamaliza kazi na hajamaliza project, mimi siwezi kupigia yeye makofi.
Juzi alikuwa akuja hapa.
Public. However, should residents decide to align administrative units to existing political boundaries, the same should be subject to public participation and the ministry will take necessary administrative action. I actually had a one-on-one conversation with the MP on this issue. The disadvantage of part of the administrative units are in Chepalungu constituency and part are in Bomet East, was it Bomet Central? So, and we have already told him to commence the process of public participation so that we can align it with administrative or political units. Mr. Chair, I think those are the only relevant questions. I think the question of administrative units was really exhaustively discussed on the floor in terms of timelines, operationalization, division, sub-counties, and so forth. So allow me to close in that topic.
So,
that issue.
CS, as you close that topic, for the purpose of record and Kenyans who are actually following and interested in this, you remember quite well that, of course, why you were called, and it was the first one because it became a very common everyday question in Parliament. And it became very clear the problem has been always about budgetary. And was the committee who actually oversight the ministry, the rough budget to operationalize all gazetted units stand at around 2.4 billion. I think the PS, when he represented you, said so. And I don't know whether you remember or you acted. The Speaker did make a ruling that day, or a directive, that now you tabulate all the units that were pending operationalization, attach the budget, so that between the ministry and us as Parliament, we think and work around on mobilizing resources to have these issues sorted and once for all. I think that was put as requested by the Speaker or directed, and it's 3 weeks. We have not received the same. And you know we are making commitment to Kenyans.
Yes. Mr. Chair, the truth is that that information was already submitted during the budget process. But I will replug it and submit to the Speaker's office. But it is within your purview and the budgetary process already. Even when the PS appeared before you, he appeared with the documentation on the same issue. So maybe for just avoidance of doubt, we can resubmit at the end of the day today or tomorrow morning for just avoidance of doubt. But in terms of our budgetary request for 2025, 2026, that information is fully supplied for purpose to support the budgetary process.
Just for record,
yeah.
Because even the Speaker directed, you can either through direct or through the committee. Let's have that report through the committee, enumerating all the units and the budgetary gaps, so that we within Parliament also, as an appropriating institution, we can see how to help us.
I will do that latest tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lastly, before you leave there, Kenyans, I don't want to. There is some pronouncements you did make on the issue of promotion of graduate chiefs to either principal chief or ACC. Do you have a policy to support that? And if yes or no, what were you insinuating really, and what is the plan toward the same? Secondly, so that you can able to just respond to that, Kenyans are even writing, they're following. I think on the issue of administrative units, when the peers appeared on your behalf before this committee, so that we dispense this question, we listed several units that at least there's some level of plan to include the 24 sub-counties, the 100-something divisions. It is now a month. Where have we reached in the operationalization, the posting of such officers to this unit, so that Kenyans can be able to get the services? Maybe you can respond to the two, then we take you to the next question.
Let me say, for the promotion of the ACCs, yes, of the chiefs to ACCs, yes, Mr. Chair, it's already happening, but in small bits. But what we have agreed is that when we advertise the next lot of SCCs, we will ring fence a certain number for the chiefs. Say if you do 100 SCCs, we agree after consultation that we'll do 30 be given to chiefs who meet the qualification, so that they can feel, Mr. Chair, that they will be encouraged. It will encourage them for as long as they meet the minimum qualifications. The same way, all other adverts in other ministries require these positions are reserved for those who are applying internally, and then the rest is externally. So it doesn't need new policy. It is within the framework of public service requirement, but we will now be deliberate to say that this number can go to chiefs, and this number goes to new cadets or new graduates who come from outside the public service sector itself. That, and also in the revision of the policy, we have agreed, based on my public engagement with and the feedback from the chiefs in the Coast region after visiting the 6 counties, we think that it's important now in this review process to have clarity on scheme of service progression. Even for a chief, even if he's not going to be an ACC, they should not stagnate at the place where they were hired perpetually. There has to be a scheme of service that by the time he's retiring at 60, is at a higher level of payment, but also he has been promoted accordingly. So then design which courses must you get at a certain stage and so forth. Again, that is an area, and like the case where it has been that someone is assistant chief from and earning the same amount for 10 years, 15 years, and so forth. The same feedback I got from the SCCs. The SCCs have also stagnated for a long period of time as SCCs, basically because we're all saying, okay, if you promote them, which sub-counties are they going to head and so forth. But there are many places in public service where the SCCs can serve at the rank of DCC. Again, we want to make sure that that is smooth and clear. This is in line with our objective to make sure that there is high morale and there is fairness, there is equity in the public service itself, Mr. Chair. And this was really part of the feedback I got, or we got as a ministry when we went for these public engagements with our officers across the 6 counties that we have visited as at now.
Actually, just so that you respond to that, there is even an anonymous officer who has written, Honorable Mheshimiwa Chair, we are following the proceeding with the CS. Please ask him some question on delay in promotions. Some officers have stayed in one job group for 7 years. That's SCCs. Also, when it comes to training, of course, which guarantees them a career progression, there is a lot of biasness. For example, diploma courses, which is organized by the government, officers employed in 2015 have not attended the Kenya government School of Government. Yet officers employed in 2021 have been taken.
Mr. Chair, if you saw my, again, for people who followed the public engagement we had in Coast, the SCC Barasa in Kilifi, for example, made a very passionate presentation, which, Mr. Chair, because he was an ACC in my county when I started politics in 2013, he compared my career progression to his. Mr. Chair said that he saw me campaigning, and now I have moved all the way to being a CS. Almost 14 years later, he's still stagnating in the same position. So it is a very real situation faced by many of these public officers, and we have recently just finished the training for the SECs, about 800 of them, and you will see their promotions happening in the soon, as we promised them. So the process is working on, and once that is done, we'll revisit for the chiefs and the assistant chiefs. Again, they have the same level of complaints that the SECs are having. And also, that was the case for the DCCs, which is now being sorted. And you know it was also the case for the county commissioners, which they have just finished their interviews. I think the last lot is finishing this week, so that then they have been acting as county commissioners for far too long. So again, this is just an area that required some reorganization, and we are doing our best to make sure that it is properly organized and that they are being taken care of, even as they take care of our concerns as citizens of this republic.
Update on the units that we had agreed that we are ready to operationalize?
It's actually when we give the report tomorrow, it should also include the ones that were funded for this financial year, which already we have posted some of the. Where it was easy was to post the DCCs and SCCs, and then now we have to hire for the chiefs and the assistant chiefs. Again, Mr. Chair, now that
agreed the issue of SCCs and DCCs because there is no recruitment,
yes,
and no extra budget per se,
yeah,
apart from AIE.
Yeah.
We fast track them. We're supposed to have almost this.
Mr. Chair, we are doing that, but it's very serious when you send someone to Mukutani, for example, which we have already done, and he has no office where he's going to operate on, or you have sent that person to a place called Koloa, which we have done, but he has no office, he has no vehicle, but because of especially the security areas, there has been concern that let's just have the officer. So you send them, you don't have AIE, you don't have a car, and you don't have an office. That's why we've done it, because it's easy to do it for the SCCs and DCCs, but it doesn't mean that that the problems have gone away. We'll have to revisit the issue of the vehicles and the AIE. Otherwise, you can send somebody and then he sits in the office there and is unable to go to the field. This is my personal request, and a ministry request actually. It's not only personal, that if we work closely with as yourselves as patrons of the NGCDF and the NGCDF board, we should support, in some cases, minimal infrastructure to enable these officers to have a place they can operate from. And some constituents are already doing the same, and it's helping us to make great progress, even as we jointly look for resources for this infrastructure. The mobility issue, we can see what to do, but the conversation is ongoing with Treasury, and as it was promised, by July, August, we should be able to have some vehicles which have been leased, and then we can see, starting from the most needy areas, see how we can support our officers to go to the field. So the list of the ones we have already posted can be shared tomorrow, together with the other request that was made.
But I will kindly request to move to the next set of questions. I know these ones that got a lot of public interest. The other one may be specific. I'll just. So let's just get Masara 1 minute, then we take the next question in the order. So Mandugu, Chair, in case you want to step out.
Chair, on the issue of training, I have a proposal for the ministry. I know of chiefs who were employed almost 6-7 years ago who has never gone for any training. And that one, whatever they are giving to the public, to be honest, is substandard. You can devolve training in such a way that instead of all of them coming to School of Government in Nairobi, you can take them in counties where they are during holidays, where there are teachers training colleges. The instructor can come to those areas and then they can be trained. Actually, I'm very specific. In my area, I've wrote to you when I was in this committee last parliament, that I was ready to capacity, because we have money in the CDF for capacity building, and chiefs and assistant chiefs are part of our PMCs, you are to bring them to my place. I've never gotten a response to the same. Because in my area, I know of chiefs who have been trained the way they handle their work, and the untrained one where there is a gap. So you need to roll this thing down, not because of lack of resources, the government may not train them at the right time at the school of government. But the lecturers at school of government, at times they lack what to do. You can have an arrangement with the county so that you can train these chiefs and assistant chiefs at the local level. It will be less expensive but very effective. That's my proposal, Chair.
Two things that we can take from the Honorable Masara. First of all, the schools, the School of Government is already, we are in conversation with School of Government to decentralize the training. Because if you have about 13,000 chiefs and assistant chiefs, it will be unwise to bring all of them to Nairobi, to APTC for the training. So already the process is ongoing for decentralization. Maybe then, which is the second part of your request, if we know that we have a request from a member of parliament who has some resources and is willing to be deployed for training of chiefs, then we can work on a curriculum where the people training is ourselves. I mean, the standard, whatever, the ministry itself, and then the resources can be channeled in an agreed manner, to say it will go to School of Government so that they can buy 1, 2, 3, 4, or they can meet accommodation, and then the training and the training curriculum can be done. That partnership, I don't see anything wrong with it. We're already partnering in building police stations. We are building together administrative units. Training for the chiefs will be very, very much welcome. I think let's just work on the curriculum, how it will look like, and the accountability for the same. Yeah, that's all.
Question straight to the warriors and the rest. I know this one's specific to individual counties as opposed to the chiefs.
Maybe in the Senate. I've answered this question before. Mr. Chair, the Honorable Chairperson, members of the committee, the Member of Parliament for Garsen constituency, Honorable Ali Wario, has requested a statement of the fatal shooting of Mr. Isaac Abdullah Jarso by KWS officer. The Honorable Member particularly sought to be informed on the status of the investigation into the killing of Mr. Isaac Abdullah Jarso, excuse me, and steps taken to apprehend the officers involved. Reasons for the shooting to death of Mr. Isaac Abdullah Jarso by KWS officers, action taken to prevent further confrontation between KWS personnel and local herders to avoid similar tragic incidents, measures to enhance good cooperation and relationship between the law enforcement agencies, local communities, and other stakeholders to avoid escalation of such incidents in the future. I wish to state as follows, Mr. Chair.